This is the set list for the no sugar challenge. These are the questions I keep getting asked. What can I eat? What can't I eat? I'm going to go through it now, so pay attention. What we are eliminated, this means what you cannot have. No biscuits, no chocolate chip cookies, no biscuits, custard creams, bourbons, all of that. You know what a biscuit is? None of that. No cakes. I don't want to hear about, oh, and then this cake and that cake. No cakes, no formal cakes. No Mr. Kipling's, no red velvet, no carrot, no whatever it is, cream, no fruit cake. Because I know some of you guys, oh, but you said we can have fruit, so maybe fruit cake. No fruit cake, no cakes, no chocolates, no sweets, no ice cream, no white and brown sugar. So the only alternative I'm allowing right now is honey to put inside your tea, to put inside your Greek yogurt, like yogurt granola and things like that. That's the only thing I'm allowing. Fizzy drinks, soft drinks, we got to be harsh. I'm sorry, guys. We'll allow no sugar fizzy drinks. So like it has to be like 0 sugar. That I will allow, but don't be overdoing it and then you're drinking it every single night. Because some of you guys chill. Soft drinks as well. So the apple juices, pineapple, all of them things there. That's high in sugar. You need to be checking the packages because you'll be thinking, oh yeah, green. The sugar content of it is still kind of high. So just make sure you're checking that out. Fast food, so we're doing the no sugar, but we're also cutting out processed food. So no fast food, no McDonald's, no pizza. Cut it. Syrup is a no-no. The only thing I'm allowing is honey. Again, exceptions is the natural honey. We're allowing fruit. I will allow for a snack salted popcorn because I'm not going to lie, that's the only thing that's getting me through. So I allow the salted popcorn and then dark chocolate. That's like the healthier version. I don't eat dark chocolate. I don't like it. But for those of you that do, try to find the most natural version of it and look through, again, check the contents of it because some of them will be mixing hella sugar in that dark chocolate and it's not that. Find the most natural version of that and that should be okay. Focus on drinking water. Within this time, water has to be your best friend because when you think you're hungry, when you think you want the cravings, go and grab that water and you'll realize you're okay. You don't need it. You don't need that sugar. You don't need the burger. You're good. You just need the water. There's not every time you feel your stomach move that it's hunger. Sometimes it's water and you just need to go and drink some water. Vegetables. I shouldn't have to explain that. We're all big women. If you got this app, you're a big girl, you're a big boy. You're a big man, you're a big woman. You know what vegetables is. Protein as well. You're going to want to up your protein and up your fiber. That's going to keep you fuller for a longer amount of time. So your salmon, your chicken, your tuna, your eggs, your all of them thing there. That is going to be your best friend. So in times where you feel like it's going to stop you from feeling so hungry and wanting to snack on things that are unnecessary. Last thing, not even the last thing, there's another two things. Fruits. So again, I don't need to explain fruits, but focus some good fruits that will help you out within this time is berries. And I think that says apple. I can't see it just because of this thing I'm recording on. Last thing is healthy fats, your avocados, your nuts and things like that. That is all going to help you. If you feel like you need encouragement and you can't do this on your own, make sure you join the group chat. Link is in the bio. I'm not charging for anything. It's not that deep. But it's just a group to help you guys. I'm putting tips, tricks, advice, foods, and just being transparent in terms of how the journey is going, you know? Because sometimes it's not always going to be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Sometimes you feel like, bro, today was hard and you're just going to need to share that sometimes. So that is what the group is for. If you're also on a journey of trying to transform your life, follow me because we're journeying in every area. Next thing we're doing is skin, all of that. But yeah, and then there's personality too. Why won't you join? Don't miss out.
Do you see the confusion in this comment section about what to eat and what not to eat? We have people asking if they can use agave sweetener. We have people asking if they can have peanut butter. We have people asking if they cannot have matcha. And I totally get it. Almost every day we come across a different elimination diet that is supposed to help us shed those extra kilos or pounds. And the rules are often so restrictive that I am not surprised that people will be wondering if having peanut butter or matcha or any of those other foods will make them gain weight. I mean, we're talking about fruits. We're talking about bananas here. But before I go bananas myself, does eliminating sugar actually result in weight loss? Or is this just another one of those diets that promise these really, really big results but have nothing to show for it? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisy, aka D, and this is my first video of 2026. If you can't tell from my very, very big smile, I am back with a bang and I'm very excited for our very first video of the year. And more so, I'm excited to continue with this weight loss myth series where I'll be making a different video every week debunking a weight loss myth that's out there. And today we are tackling myth number 12. Yes, we're in number 12 of this series. Our myth for the day is the idea that eliminating sugar results in weight loss, as we have seen in that first video and as I will show you in other videos that I came across on TikTok. So is this true or is there more to this than meets the eye? As you saw in that no sugar list, as well as in the comments, sugar can be a bit confusing. After all, what counts as sugar and what does not count as sugar? Do you count agave sweetener as sugar? Do you count honey as sugar? Do you think of table sugar as sugar? What exactly is sugar? Now, I won't complicate this by categorizing sugar into glucose, sucrose, fructose, and the likes. Instead, I'll just put it this way. We have two types of sugar generally. On one hand, we have the natural sugar, and this is the kind of sugar that you will find exists naturally in whole foods. You're thinking about your fruits, you're thinking about whole milk. For example, in fruits, we have fructose, and in milk, we have lactose. Those are kinds of natural sugars. Often, people will say that this kind of natural sugar is healthier than the other sugar that I'm going to talk about. And is this true? Well, yes. Natural sugar does not exist as sugar on its own. Instead, it comes with a ton of minerals and vitamins and fiber. For the fiber, this means that when you eat this kind of sugar, it takes a longer time to digest, and that keeps you feeling fuller for longer. And then we have the vitamins and minerals, which means that when you're eating this kind of sugar, you're getting something extra. For example, if you have an orange, you know that's high in vitamin C as well as other vitamins, and that is going to contribute to your overall healthy well-being. So with natural sugar, you're not just feeling fuller for longer, but you're also contributing to a healthier you. And then on the other side, we have refined sugar. So what exactly is refined sugar? Now, refined sugar is the kind of sugar that has been processed to a certain extent. So it can be very refined, like high fructose corn syrup, or it can be minimally refined like brown sugar. Actually, brown sugar is actually more processed actually, because if you think about the process it takes to turn sugar, like cane sugar, into brown sugar, there's a really long process there. Yeah, and because of this processing, this results in the loss of key vitamins and minerals and also fiber. And this has two effects. For one, the sugar's absorption rate is much higher than that of natural sugar. Think of when you eat a banana versus when you've had like glucose, like straight up glucose. With a banana, you will feel that you're fuller for longer, but with the glucose, you will not really feel the effect. And then the second effect is that the natural sugar is way healthier than this refined sugar, because as we have said, refined sugar is stripped of its vitamins and its minerals and its fiber. And that means that when you're eating it, you're lacking these vitamins and minerals that you will find in the natural sugar, which are now not in the refined sugar because of the processing. So there we have it. We have the natural sugar and then we have the refined sugar. But what exactly is added sugar? Because people are always talking about added sugar, and you hear that there's this limit that you're not supposed to get to when it comes to added sugar. So is natural sugar added sugar? Is refined sugar added sugar? What exactly is added sugar? This is where it gets interesting, because when it comes to added sugar, any sugar that you're adding to a food when you're preparing it or you're processing it counts as added sugar. So if you're adding a tablespoon of honey in your coffee, or you're adding something sweet like agave sweetener to your coffee, or you're adding table sugar to your cake recipe, that counts as added sugar. So in this case, it's not about the quality of the sugar, it's not about the type of the sugar, it's about the addition of the sugar to a meal. So added sugar is any kind of sugar that you add, whether natural or refined, to a food. Now with that said, is sugar good or bad for you when it comes to weight loss? We're talking about natural sugar and refined sugar. Is it really bad for you? Is it good for you? Is there a need for you to go on this no sugar diet? If you scroll social media right now and then you look at the hashtag no sugar diet or no sugar challenge, you will come across very many videos of people who are going no sugar. In fact, it's so popular that the creator I covered in video number 1 is actually doing another round of her no sugar diet. She came up with 2 rounds. She had group A and group B, and those have already finished their challenge, and now she's going to group C. And here's a snippet of that video where she's telling people that if you did not manage to join group 1 or group A or group B, you have the chance to join group C, and people are even asking if there's a group D. But before we get to group D, let's look at group C, which is starting today. No, it started yesterday, because at the time of making this video, this group challenge has already started.
When's group C happening? Where's group C? Where's group C? When's group C happening? When's group C happening? Due to popular demand, peer pressure, and constant DMs and emails from you guys, we are doing group C of the No Sugar Challenge. Starts Monday, 12th of January to the 26th of January. And this will be the last group that I'm doing for January. For those who had birthdays, who gave up, who wanted to try again, for those who didn't get to see the first 2 times that we started, this is your opportunity to join us. Group C starts Monday. If you've entered this year eating anyhow, this is your sign to join us. No processed sugar. So that's chocolate, sweets, biscuits, crisps. I literally have a whole list of what you can and cannot eat. It's literally pinned on my page, right? Go through and I explain everything with you. I'm not going to say this challenge is easy, but it is definitely worth it. I'm seeing so many people with their testimonies of how their skin has cleared up, how they're feeling a lot better, their sleep has gotten much better, I've lost weight. There's so many benefits to doing this. Not an easy challenge, but for those that do it and do it properly, results are evident. So for everybody that was asking me for a group C, I was not planning to do this, but I've heard you guys, I've listened, and I've delivered. Group C, this is the last group. I don't want to hear no excuses. We start Monday. So every sugary item, every sugary drink, food, snack, sweet, whatever you're planning, that ends midnight. From Monday midnight, 12:01 a.m. we go. I'll be posting videos every single day encouraging you. We have our daily debrief every evening, so make sure you are following and tapped in, because a lot of people are saying that, oh, they fell off, they didn't know. If you follow me, you'll be updated with everything that's going on. There's no need for you to be flopping, failing, any of that jazz. Tell a friend to tell a friend that Group C starts Monday. No excuses, lock in. You've got this. It is not going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be worth it. For the last and final group, Group C. Group can't believe we're doing this.
Well, if you're watching this right now and you did not join the group challenge, it's over because it was starting yesterday. And that's the last one of January, so I guess she'll do another one in February. Now, let's see what people had to say about these. We have day one and I'm struggling already. I can't imagine why. And then we have, I failed group B, so I'm in group C now. I went through the comments of this video and I saw that there were so many people who are willing to join group C. And people love these challenges for a reason. It's not just about the weight loss. There's so much more that they get out of this challenge, as you had her say. People are sleeping better, their skin is clearing up. I mean, after 14 days, they're getting all these benefits. And she's not the only one who has this no sugar challenge that offers more than just weight loss. I have another creator that I came across who has the same offer, but packaged a bit differently. So let's see why this no sugar challenge promises to transform people from the inside out.
If you cut out sugar for 1 whole week, here's what would happen. You would depuff your face immediately. I'm talking jawline snatched, skin glowing, and that alone would motivate you to keep going. But you want to know what else? Your girl did that, okay? And in the first week, I dropped 11 freaking pounds. Yes, people are going to say it's water weight, whatever. 11 pounds is 11 pounds. That means your body is reducing inflammation, which means that your fat cells are going to be shrinking, which would make your body composition change over time. Now, I didn't just do it for a week. I did it for 4 months. And in the last 4 months, I've dropped 55 pounds eating animal meats. I'm on the carnivore diet. It's not hard, but it does require some discipline, all right? It does require some discipline. But when I first started, I just told myself I need to eliminate whatever triggers me to have this junk food, whatever triggers me to go to crumble cookie, immediately get off my timeline. Because I knew I just needed to feel better overall, and what I was doing was not working. The processed foods, the protein shakes, that was just leading for me to binge eat on the weekends, overdo it on the weekends. So whatever progress I was making, whatever workouts I was doing during the week were obsolete. I told myself I was going to do it for a week, okay? And when I dropped 11 pounds, I was over the moon. By week 2, I dropped 15. By 4 weeks, I dropped 25. Here we are today, 55 freaking pounds down. It's been 4 months. I started in September. And I'm just here to tell you that if you needed a sign to truly detox your body and to start feeling good again, get rid of the sugar, get rid of the processed food. And I'm telling you, in 1 week, you will notice a difference.
Going by this video, it seems that people get clear skin and smaller waist by just cutting out sugar. I know she said that she's also on the carnivore diet, but the main thing is that you have to cut out sugar and processed foods. So what's the beef with sugar? One, people tend to overgeneralize research. There have been many cases where scientists have linked obesity to sugar intake. So people have come up with this idea that if you're eating sugar, then you're going to be obese. And if sugar causes the obesity, then if you cut out the sugar, then you cut out the weight, right? So based on this alone, people have decided that sugar is the enemy and we need to say goodbye to sugar if we want to have these smaller waists and, clearer skin and everything else that comes with a no sugar diet.
They're the rules for the no sugar challenge. I've gotten so many questions on what can I eat, what can't I eat, so we're going to go through everything now. First of all, yes, you can have fruit and dates. It's just added sugar. That was the number one question that I got, so I want to get that out of the way. Eliminate baked pastries, so croissants, anything filled, donuts, obviously cupcakes, and anything baked or that comes in a package, I would say eliminate. Number 2 is chocolates, any packaged chocolate, any chocolate that would have sugar in it. We're not having that, sorry. If you find a sugar-free alternative or chocolate that's sweetened with stevia, you can have that, but I would still say limited to like once or twice a week. Number 3 is candy, obviously. Number 4, ketchup and mayonnaise. Ketchup has so much sugar, so does mayo, so I would stick to olive oil, lemon, balsamic vinaigrette. In beverages, so any coffee that has sugar syrup, always ask if they add sugar to their coffee because they usually do. As a substitute, you can add stevia or honey, just like a little bit of honey. I would say 1 teaspoon of honey to sweeten your beverage, but always ask the barista if they put any sugar. And the last one is fizzy drinks, so obviously no Coca-Cola or 7-Up. You can have Diet Coke or Diet Sprite, but I would not recommend it because it will make your cravings worse over time. A good alternative, I would have kombucha. Kombucha is super good for you, or electrolytes. It's really good at managing cravings. So what we're going to keep, fruits, dates, honey, agave, and any sugar-free dessert. If you live in Dubai, I always order these. They're from So Free on Deliveroo. They're like these little chocolate biscuits. They're amazing. They're made with no sugar and very clean ingredients. So I still would limit these because the whole point is to really, really tune in and have whole foods. I usually have 1 a day after dinner. So if you're going to have like a sugar-free dessert, I would say 1 a day max, like fruits, berries, etc. I want you to actually crave like a salad, nuts, olive oil, eggs, all of those things. To foods high in omega-3, like fish, salmon, a lot of vegetables, sweet potato, bake them, air fry them, like get creative and eat whole food. Let me know if you guys have any other questions that I can answer.
I think now we have our answer answer to whether you can have agave sweetener from the first video. The comment section had someone asking if they could have agave sweetener. And according to this creator, of course you can have agave sweetener. It's just added sugar. But like I said, added sugar counts for both refined and natural sugar. So now, can you see all those rules that this diet has? Do they sound similar to what we saw in video 1? Well, this brings us to point number 2, and that's the black and white rules in the diet industry. The diet industry tends to lack nuance. Rather than looking at a food in terms of moderation, people tend to consider eliminating foods if they think that a food can be problematic, rather than looking at how we can incorporate this food into our diet in a balanced way. So going by these, if studies link obesity to sugar, then sugar is seen as the enemy, like I said in point number 1, and so people decide that they have to eliminate this bad food. And that's the same thing that we did with fats. Up until a few years ago, people thought of fats as bad, so people were just cutting out all kinds of fats, even the healthy fats like avocado. Right now people are back to avocado and nuts and they like fats now, but there's a time that fats were the complete enemy. If you ate fat, it made you fat. They even used to have this a moment on the lips, a lifetime of the hips kind of thinking, because there was no nuance. It was like fats make you fat, so you cut out fat. Sugar makes you fat, so you cut out sugar. There's all these black and white rules when it comes to the diet industry. And the converse is also true, because as much as people tend to eliminate foods that they think are bad for them, they also tend to overdo what they consider to be healthy. Like if you think about the protein craze right now, people are so into protein. They're like having protein in everything, in their cereal, in their protein shakes. They have to have protein with every meal. They've gotten into this whole protein is good for you mindset, so they're just overdoing it to the protein. Yes, I know protein is good for you, but it's like too much at some point. And that's the same thing that people do with what they consider to be healthy, whether it's chia seeds, it's flax seeds, whatever people think is good for them, olive oil. They just overdo what they think is good, and then they just eliminate what they think is bad, because kind of for some reason, we just can't moderate.
The secret to looking amazing is cutting out sugar. Do you want a thinner face? Cut out sugar. Slim jaw? Cut out sugar. Slim waist? Cut out sugar. Slim body? Cut out sugar. Clear head, clear mind, clear brain? Cut out sugar. I know you want to eat that whole chocolate bar after dinner, but I'm sorry to tell you the secret to looking amazing is cutting out sugar. Within the first 2 weeks of cutting out sugar, you will already notice a difference, because all the water that is being stored either in your face or all over your body is going to dissolve. It's going to make all the difference, and you will see results quickly. What you will experience is pretty strong cravings. That was the way in my case, at least. I don't know if it's going to be like that for you, but I experienced such strong cravings. I was like, oh, I just want a cinnamon roll. I just want a Dunkin' Donut. I just want to eat brownies, chocolate cake, everything. I was just dreaming of things that I usually wouldn't even eat, but I really wanted it. But that was only within the first, I would say 1, 2, 3 months. In the 4th month, I never ever thought about it again. So that shows you that it actually is like an addiction. It gets you addicted. It gets you because you think you need it. You need it to deal with stress. You need it to deal with this. You need it to just cheer you up, to get that little dopamine going in your brain, but you don't actually need it. And you will feel clearer and better in your head. And I'm not saying you can never have sugar again, but if you like want to get your life on track and change the way you look, then cutting on sugar is a great start.
She's not wrong about the addiction. There's a very big conversation to be had about how much people are addicted to sugar and why some people have to have sugar in their lives and how that has an effect on their dopamine centers and the whole addiction cycle with the reward and the cue and the behavior. There's all of that going on. But now, putting that aside, let's talk about how influencers have an effect on these no sugar challenges, because when you look at the influencer hype, the marketing hype that surrounds these no sugar challenges, you see that there's a pattern. Many people who go on these no sugar diets, like you saw in video number 1, there was that creator who was talking about her no sugar challenge, and then by the time we come to her second video, which she posted sometime before the 12th of January this year, there are many people who wanted to go on that challenge because she's this creator, she has a big following, and people want to follow what she's doing because she's saying that people are having these big results with it. And as you have seen just in the previous video, this creator also did the no sugar challenge, and she's posting her transformation. They all have these really big transformations where they went no sugar and then they lost weight, and then all these other really good things happened in their lives. And because these influencers, these creators have such relatable and shocking transformations, many people are willing to take the chance on the no sugar challenge because they want to have the same results. But at the end of it, you have to remember, as much as yes, these creators will say that maybe they're offering the no sugar challenge for free, usually they have something to gain out of it, whether it's followers, whether it's because they're trying to sell a program, they're trying to sell you an ebook, they're trying to sell you something, they have to benefit from something. And so they are very willing to push these no sugar challenges because they get some benefits out of it. And that contributes to this myth that sugar is bad, because you keep seeing these being reiterated over and over and over. Go no sugar, you lose weight. Go no sugar, you get clear skin. Go no sugar, you get Rapunzel hair. There's so much to gain from going no sugar. But then now that's why people start thinking that, okay, sugar is bad because I keep seeing this over and over and over again, yeah? As you know by now, I like to push back on weight loss myths, and this one is no exception. So where does the no sugar challenge fail? Let's talk calories in versus calories out. It's true that sugar, whether natural or refined, does have an effect on your total caloric intake. But at the end of the day, whether you gain weight or you lose weight or you maintain your weight, that comes down to your energy expenditure compared to your calorie intake. So if you keep eating enough to maintain your weight, regardless of whether you're eating sugar or not, then you'll end up maintaining your weight. If you end up eating more than usually would, even on the no sugar diet, you can end up gaining weight because at the end of the day, you will be at a surplus. And this is likely to happen because, as you have seen, people are being told to cut out the sugar, but then they are told to make up for that by eating healthy foods. And even healthy foods have calories at the end of the day. When you talk about healthy fats like avocados and nuts and olive oil, and you're talking about these natural sweeteners like honey and agave sweetener, they still have calories. So even if you're not eating sugar, if you're eating these other foods, these permitted foods at a surplus, you will end up gaining weight. Or if you're eating them at the same level, you're eating within your total daily energy expenditure, you'll end up, just maintaining your weight. So just because you're going no sugar does not mean that you'll end up losing weight, because calories do matter. It doesn't really matter whether you're having sugar or not. If you're at a surplus or you're at maintenance, you will not see a change in your weight, or you might actually see a change in your weight that's, trading up. Secondly, moderation actually works, it works. Coming from someone who lost weight and kept it off and has managed to keep it off for years, I can tell you that moderation actually works. The truth is that eating in moderation works better than elimination. And research shows the same thing. When people have sugar as part of their diet, as part of a balanced diet, they're able to have it and still meet their weight goals and their health goals, as much as they still have sugar in their diet. There's a place for sugar in our diet, whether that's the natural sugar that I talked about and the occasional refined sugar here and there. There is a place for sugar in our diet. We don't really have to do elimination because we can actually do moderation. Thirdly, the whole picture matters. I have to add, and this points back to point number 1, that cutting out sugar alone does not mean that you will be healthy. You also have to think about the overall quality of your overall diet. The more you eat whole foods, the better it is for your fullness levels, which I guess is why these creators are focusing so much on the healthy fats and the protein and the vegetables, because this is not just good for your satiety levels, it's also good for you health-wise, because you get to eat more nutrients. But if you just cut out sugar and you do not work on the rest of your diet, you're just cutting out sugar and then you're eating processed foods, or you're eating foods that are just generally not good for you in terms of nutrients, you can lose weight because, like I said, it's a calories game, but at the end of the day, you will have terrible health outcomes. As you might have already guessed, because I think I come out very biased in this video, I am not one to advocate for the elimination of sugar in anyone's diet, especially not fruits. We're not going to debate whether you can have bananas in your diet or whether you only have to have berries or whether you can only do avocados. We're not eliminating fruits. And going without cakes or cookies or your favorite candy just feels wrong, right? But at the end of the day, we also have to think about the effect that this refined sugar has on our health, because we're not just going to be eating for pleasure. That's one part of eating, because I don't think that food is just fuel. Food is also supposed to give you pleasure. But we also have to balance the kind of sugar that we're having, because we don't want to have these terrible health outcomes. Because again, having too many sweet treats comes with the risk of weight gain and also very many health problems, because we can actually avoid these lifestyle diseases, many of them, by just changing the way that we eat. So how do we find this balance? I'm going to share the strategies that I use in my Better in 90 program, which I'll talk about later. But now let's just dive right into the strategies. And strategy number 1 is that you have to practice portion control. Instead of going no sugar, focus on limiting your portion sizes. For example, you can leave room for a small dessert at the end of the day after you have already focused on eating more whole foods for most of the day, and still hitting your calorie goals, whether that's because you want to maintain your weight or lose weight or even add weight. For example, when I was losing weight, I loved having Oreos. I love chocolate Oreos. So what I would do, I would save about 200 to 300 calories at the end of the day just to have Oreos. And that will be like a serving or 2 of Oreos. And a serving is like 3 sandwiched cookies. So I'll have that at the end of the day. So I did not feel restricted, but I was still able to lose weight. And I have covered that in detail in my How I Lost Weight with Hypothyroidism. So if you are interested in that, you can look at that in the playlist. But yes, it's actually possible for you to portion control these sweet treats and still meet your weight loss goals. The second point is that you have to prioritize these nutrient-dense foods, which again, I pointed to in the creators' videos, because they were talking about these healthy fats and your proteins and your vegetables. And I do agree with that, because there is room for nutrient-dense foods in any diet. Whether you're losing weight, you're gaining weight, you're maintaining your weight, there is a lot of room for these foods. And like I said, whether or not you're going to eliminate sugar from your diet, your overall diet will determine your overall weight and the overall health, yeah? So you need to focus on building your meals around vegetables and lean protein and healthy fats alongside whole grains, because I know that carbs are another hot topic and people are usually afraid of carbs. But you remember in my video, we say that carbs are not the same and eating carbs will not make you gain weight. There is room for carbs. Carbs serve a very important purpose in our bodies. The more of these whole foods you eat, the less that you will crave sugar. So like the creator said that when she went no sugar, she found that she had fewer cravings for sugar. But then at the same time, she was also focusing more on whole foods. And the truth is that studies show that if you're eating more whole foods, then your cravings for sugar and even processed foods and ultra-processed foods just reduce. It's just an effect of the whole foods. And not just the cravings go away, you also become healthier. And point number 3 is that you also have to create a healthy lifestyle. People love going on these fast diets that have fast results. You have your carnivore, your keto, your no sugar, your no carb, all of these diets. But the best diet, I know it's cliche, but the best diet is the one that you can stick to forever. Something that you can see yourself doing today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next decade. And what is more permanent than a lifestyle change? You know, creating a lifestyle that you actually enjoy and one that's good for you. And this means finding better ways to sleep, finding better ways to manage your stress, finding better ways to move your body in ways that you enjoy but is actually good for you, finding foods that you enjoy. It's just creating this all-around lifestyle that you can just adopt and embrace and enjoy. These habits, you know, work together to create this lifestyle that you can follow for years. You don't even realize that you're just doing it because it just becomes such a part of you and you just find yourself just enjoying every part of it. Having this lifestyle is much better at regulating your weight than just saying that you're going to eliminate sugar, or you're going to eliminate carbs, or you're going to eliminate fats, or you're going to eliminate soda, whatever it is that you're trying to eliminate. It's much easier for you to maintain a healthy weight by just regulating your overall weight and your health, by creating a lifestyle that works for you and it's suited to your wants and your needs. And that's my take on no sugar diets, or even just elimination diets in overall when it comes to weight loss. If you would like to learn more about the Better in 90 program, which I designed based on my experience and the experiences of other women in my life, and which I use to help other women lose weight and keep it off for years, you can use the link below. It's a really simple program. It's practical. It's individualized to everyone's needs. So it's not like I'm going to ask you to do something that is just very cookie cutter. I just individualize it for every person. And if that sounds interesting to you, you can use the link down below. That said, I would love to hear your thoughts on the no sugar diet as well as any other elimination diets that you have come across. And I would also appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so that you can be part of my next video. I make one weight loss myth video every week. I know that I was a bit behind in December, but that's what happens during the holidays. I'm going to avoid that this year. You're going to have one video every week. Until next time, stay safe and enjoy your treats. And yes, that includes bananas and berries and agave sweetener. See you next time.